Welcome into the Ravens Rundown, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. So glad to have you with us. It is time for another award-winning Ravens Rumors Mailbag. You have questions, and you're in luck because I have answers. You may be wondering, how do I get involved in these mailbags? Well, I have an opportunity for you. Here's the thing. If you want the Ravens to win on Sunday, let's sub for dubs. And a little extra on top of that. Not only if you subscribe to today's video, you help the Ravens' chances of winning on Sunday, but also you get to be a part of our mailbags in the future. You can submit your questions to us and get the latest Ravens news, rumors, trades, free agency, and more. And you can turn on your notifications so you never miss a moment either. This is the place to be. Subscribe now to the channel. We'll get started with the mailbag. First question comes in from Kim. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you here. The question is, any updates on OBJ, #Ravens? So it's interesting when it comes to this OBJ stuff. We have said from the onset that the Ravens, it was going to be a very slim chance of landing OBJ just because of the obstacles in the Ravens' way when it comes to cap space, which they just don't have much of. And OBJ is not trying to play for a veteran minimum contract here. He's looking for a multi-year deal and to be on a Super Bowl contending team. And so those things just don't work for the Ravens when it comes to the money side of it. Obviously, they're a contender, but just the numbers don't quite add up necessarily. And so it seems like all signs point to that OBJ is going to end up in Dallas. We hear Jerry Jones talking about him a lot. But Kim K, I don't see that happening of OBJ ending up in Baltimore unless something just drastically changes here soon. We see some roster moves of some sorts. But from what we heard from Josina Anderson, the report she put out the other day, that there was still some talking going on between the Ravens and OBJ, but really that was kind of just it for now. So we'll see if something changes, but right now it doesn't seem like that OBJ is headed to Baltimore at the moment. They want OBJ, though. That's another thing I wonder here. With OBJ, you know, his history has been interesting, if you want to put it that way, with the way things have gone. He is coming off an injury. He would cost a lot of money. Is that somebody you want? Let me know in the comments section. And here's what you do. If you want OBJ, type OBJ. If you don't want OBJ, type no BJ. Okay? That's how you do it in the comments section. OBJ for yes, no BJ for no. Jeremy writes, are you worried the Ravens won't win the division? Fair question. And Jeremy, here's what I would say. It's not even for me necessarily about the Ravens, because the Ravens' schedule's the easiest of any team left in the NFL this year. It's the Bengals, and the Bengals are playing better football as of late. I'm not worried right now, but my tune will change if we see this weekend, Jeremy, that the Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs. If they beat the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes and company, then the Bengals will have my full attention. And then I'll say, okay, you know what? Yeah, that's a serious threat here. If they do that, then I'll start to get worried of some sorts here. The Ravens playing teams like the Broncos, you can't be losing to the Broncos, okay? You have to take care of business and then hope that the Bengals, their schedule, you know, that they get ruffled up a little bit here over the next few weeks. For me, that's what I'm looking at. But this week, I feel like we're going to learn a lot. If the Ravens do what they're supposed to do, and then if we see the Bengals find a way to beat the Chiefs, then yeah, you'll have my full attention. Not worried right now, but that answer could change in about a week. We'll see. Today's show is brought to you by Fetch. Fetch is a super easy-to-use and free app that lets you earn rewards on literally anything. Scan any physical receipt or e-receipt, and you will earn points for your purchases. And the process only takes seconds. You don't have to worry about where the receipt is from or what's on it. So let me show you how simple it is. All you do is open up the Fetch app, press the orange camera button, and snap a photo of your receipt, then hit submit, and you'll see the confetti pop showing that you've earned more reward points. It's a simple process. You can also click the e-receipt function to get rewarded for your Amazon purchases or other online shopping by syncing your email account. You can redeem those points for gift cards at Amazon, Starbucks, or any of hundreds of retailers and restaurants that are available. Fetch is available on both iPhone and Android. Use our link, chatsports.com/fetch, and enter the promo code CHAT to sign up for up to 5,000 points when you scan your first receipt. That's equivalent to a free $5 gift card to get started. It's a free app, and the 5,000 bonus points is only for a limited time. So get started now. Chatsports.com/fetch and enter the promo code CHAT. The link is also in the comments and the description of today's video. Billy wants to know, will Greg Roman leave midseason and take the job at Stanford? Very good question there, Billy, when it comes to Greg Roman here. And at the time that we're recording this, Stanford has not hired a head coach. And of the head coaching rumors out there, what's been pretty interesting is that the Stanford one is probably the hardest to figure out of sorts when it comes to these hot boards right now. Me and Tom Downey, Will Scott, Harrison Graham, we're covering college football on our main Chat Sports feed in addition to the NFL. And looking at these hot boards one by one, the Stanford is job openings the biggest wild card of all. And they're not leaking much. We haven't found much info other than that Greg Roman and John Harbaugh have said that Greg Roman's been reached out to by Stanford. Remember, he was an assistant at Stanford when John Harbaugh's brother, Jim, was the head coach at Stanford many years ago. So will he leave? I think what will happen, if Greg Roman is offered the job, he would be crazy not to take the Stanford job. I think he would leave midseason to take the job. Do I think he'll get the job? I don't know. That remains to be seen. There's plenty of good candidates, plenty of good options for Stanford when it comes to that. And even though Roman was at Stanford, his college experience is a little bit limited. Remember, we're talking about NIL, transfer portal, recruiting, and all that stuff that you just don't deal with in the NFL. So with that said, I still say it's a less than 50% chance, but if he's offered, I think he would take it personally because he'd be crazy not to. He's not getting an NFL head coaching job anytime soon. Might as well take that Stanford job. It's a pretty decent job, Power 5 program at Stanford. So we'll see. What say you? Greg Roman should go to Stanford. That's what we believe here on the Ravens Rundown. If he gets offered, we think he should take that job. If you agree with that sentiment, type T for true. If you disagree with that statement, type F for false. Let me know in the comment section. T for true, F for false. Oh, Lord, we got a Karen in the chat today. Hi, Karen. What's the biggest issue the Ravens have? Good question when it comes to that. And for me, it's what everybody's talked about all season long. The issue for this Ravens team has not been solved when it comes to the receiving core. In fact, it got worse, actually, throughout the season as Rashad Bateman went down. And, it's been by committee, next man up, every single week of who steps up to the plate for the Ravens at that wide receiver spot. We saw Deshaun Jackson play well last week. We've seen in the past where it's been Demarcus Robinson, Devin Duvernay. There's nobody that's been consistent when it comes to that receiving group all season long. And so for me, the biggest issue is finding guys to get the football to besides Mark Andrews. Even at the tight end spot, I came into 2022 optimistic about that tight end room with Isaiah Likely, with Charlie Kolar, with Josh Oliver, and it's been up and down. Isaiah Likely, he's a rookie. He's had his moments. Charlie Kolar, of course, has been hurt. He just got activated recently. Josh Oliver had a breakout game recently. But, beyond Mark Andrews, no one's been consistent. So, For me, it's finding consistency in that receiving game has been the biggest issue with this Ravens team. Last question from Gary. Gary the Snail in the chat. Good to see you, Gary. SpongeBob SquarePants legend there. Hashtag Ravens. Will Lamar Jackson win the MVP award? I lean towards no. I think at one point in the year he was the MVP favorite early on, the way he started out the year. But Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts have kind of pulled away from the pack at this point. I think it's down to those two. Lamar still has several weeks to make a case and to be up there. And if you want to talk about value, Lamar is one of the most valuable players to his team of anybody in the league. But Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes right now are outplaying everybody. So it's those two. I tend to lean towards Patrick Mahomes, but Jalen's right there too. But I think Lamar's kind of in that next class. He would have to, I think this team would have to go on a run, and we'd have to see Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts kind of come back down to earth a little bit too in order for that to happen. Before we go, is Lamar Jackson out of the MVP race? Is he done here? Let me know in the comment section. Type Y for yes, type in for no. If you think Lamar Jackson is out of the MVP race, let me know. As always, you can follow me on social media, Twitter, Instagram, at Tyler Jones Live. Talk about your Ravens and those social media platforms. And I'll see you next time right here on the Ravens Rundown. Thanks for joining us.